say that like that.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm a Ninja Turtles fan. Okay, I will ooze wherever I like.
This one drink that's not even bad, you won't drink, and I'm confused. I am in anger.
Good for you guys. I don't watch a lot of movies. I go outside. Okay?
Hi. Oh.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Too Many Words podcast. I am your host, Isaac William Joseph. Across the way from me is my best friend, Jordan Van Cleve.
That's me.
And this, which button is it? Which button is it?
For what?
The applause.
The applause? C.
And this week we have special guest from the Fleur Cinema and Cafe, Mallory. Yay!
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it is, what is it, take 4 now?
What?
Take 4?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's take 4, but like, this is now the, I guess, 3rd or 4th episode we've done here, and 3rd that actually went live.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I like the word take because it gives it that that vibe, that movie-themed vibe. Kind of like it's like almost like a sub-series to the main story of Too Many Words.
Yeah.
Kind of like how we'll be at the wood shop with Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is episode what?
Oh, that's a mess. That is a mess right now.
Right now it is a mess.
I
Mallory,
understand.
we've been dealing with a lot of stuff.
This episode comes out
In the background of this podcast as of late. We did a episode with our friend Nate. The audio was bad on that, so we actually had him do it again before we even came here today. And we didn't even keep track of what number episode that was this morning. And so we don't know which number this one is again. But once that all... Look at him. He's counting.
This should be episode 85.
85?
Yeah, because Logan's 86. Yeah.
Logan's 86?
Yep.
Beautiful.
This is episode
Okay.
85.
Welcome to episode 85 of the Too Many Words podcast, back at Fleur Cinema. The time is Monday, March 25th, 8:47 at night, and Mallory only has an hour until she's got to, I don't know, maybe make some final adjustments and get the heck on out of here. So, yeah, we'll make this cute.
I appreciate the time crunch.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes we go over 2 hours, and it's just crazy. But
Yeah, we used to do only hour-long episodes, and then we were like, we should maybe shoot for an hour and a half.
yeah, shoot for an hour and a half. And then we added a third host, and, 2 hours is almost normal.
Almost.
Crazy.
We're still pretty good about it now.
Yeah, we are pretty good about it. But yeah, let's get right into it. The word of the week, Jordan.
Hang on, I was literally just about to pull it up.
Cool. While you're getting to that, Mallory, how you doing?
I'm swell, actually.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let's do a little quick
Ooh, I know
intro.
this one.
Mallory, what are you to this awesome theater?
I am the general manager of the Fleur Cinema and Cafe.
Sweet. See, we're sitting here with the
That's why I
general
took a screenshot first.
manager here. Okay, reason why we record here, reason why we have a lot of benefits here, and we're forever grateful.
Well,
This is
so
nice.
am I. I am also grateful for you guys being here and hosting it here. So
Yeah. Hopefully we can help get some traction to this theater a lot more with our support to give back to your support.
Yes.
All right, word of the week.
Diffident.
Diffident.
Yes, I know this word, actually. Be quiet.
Oh, someone just broke into Jordan's home.
Yep. It means shy, quiet, and modest.
Of course you know what that word means.
The most
you
diffident student surprised her classmates by getting the highest grades.
Oh, so I don't know, man. That word, that like sentence usage is a little bit biased. Like
Is it?
shy people are super smart or
I
something.
guess, yeah, it does.
Favoritism. Whoever wrote that one is a dividend person. But anyways, yeah, dividend. We encourage you guys to use that this week to
Wait, that
expand your
was-
vocabulary.
That was the last one, right?
What?
Dividend?
Dividend? Is it dividend?
I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
We're talking about the word, dog.
Okay.
Are you okay?
No.
No? Okay.
This freaking ad won't stop, and it makes me upset.
You should pay for the premium
It's
of words
like,
per day.
It's like $30 a year.
Why? It's just a vocab word app.
I don't know. It's annoying. I don't get it.
Anyways, guys, we are recording this literally the same day as the Nate Basinger episode, so we are not doing announcements. We are not doing what we learned this week. Okay, if you are curious about any of those, go check out the Nate Basinger episode. So, thank you.
Diffident.
There we go.
Diffident.
That's what I was waiting on.
Congratulations.
I just wanted it to do that.
Okay, hot take of the week, sir.
I think you'll like this one.
Okay.
I'd rather live in a tiny apartment in a great location than a huge house in a terrible location.
Define terrible location, really.
It does not.
Detroit?
Some people think
what would
I
you
shouldn't.
prefer?
I shouldn't hate on Detroit. I've never been. But,
Okay.
You know, you just hear things.
Yeah, you do.
I
I've
guess
seen Beverly Hills
It
Cop.
really depends how bad the place is or how good the place is.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you were in your ideal city with a fantastic view, I think an apartment would be. I could do it. I
Okay.
could live with it.
How about you, Jordan?
I'd rather live in a giant house in the middle of nowhere with no one around me.
Yeah, but
Sounds fantastic.
yeah, but that would not fit under your own definition of terrible, though.
True. Well, I don't know. So that's
Because, being
so
in peace and
open-ended
quiet
about it.
Is awesome.
Because it really, who defines terrible? Some people hate.
You
the
have-
middle of
okay, so
nowhere.
you
got
live-
no cell reception or something.
You live in a huge house, but you have 12 neighbors. Okay? So you have a huge house and almost like a clock on a geographical map.
Okay.
You just have a house that is on just every corner for the 12. And they're all Jeezy.
I could deal with that.
Okay. And they're all my mom.
I could deal with that.
Who's someone that you hate? Say it publicly on the podcast right now.
I don't.
Mallory, do you hate anybody?
I don't. That's a lot of effort.
Mallory
That's a
is
lot
a
of
very
effort.
loving
I
and
can
kind
dislike
person.
people. There may be people I dislike. Hate, that's a lot of effort.
My mom just FaceTime called me. Crazy. Anyways,
It's weird. We were just.
I think it's your interpretation, right? Like it would have to be your ideal huge house, but in your worst nightmare of a place. I mean, it would be different for everybody.
I feel like it sways on mood sometimes too, because I love the idea of living in the big city. I grew up with the idea of, ooh, maybe I can live downtown Des Moines and see the lights and stuff like that. But sometimes I'm like, I want to own a ranch and nobody bothers me, you know?
So the question
For
for,
sure.
me, I'd say, would be: do you want to live in a tiny apartment in the big city or in a big house in the big city? And
Does it specify tiny?
it does say
Yeah, it
tiny.
does.
It says
Say tiny.
But is it at that point, is it like a tiny house? Like, is it still cute?
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I do have a lot of shit,
Yeah.
so.
I think I'm
I
focusing
do too.
too much on the location aspect and not on the obvious aspect that is,
The size.
I've never desired an apartment. I've always desired a paid-for home, something that is mine, you know?
100%.
Yeah,
I hate
that's
having neighbors through a wall.
That's true as well.
Like, you can't listen or do anything without thinking, can somebody hear me?
Yeah.
I spent a good chunk of my life in apartments, and yeah.
For sure. Me too.
So I guess I'll go with huge house, terrible location. I mean, if it's terrible enough, you'll just get the property value on that. 10 years later, sell it. Live
Yeah.
your own life.
Yeah.
Get an
Yeah.
island.
How
after that.
huge,
Island.
too, though? Because that's like cleaning a house that big.
Yeah. See,
Yeah. Am
I
another
rich?
point.
Yeah.
Like, do I have money to travel to other places? So it
True.
wouldn't matter
Yeah.
if I lived there.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of questions
That's
I have.
that's one that we could make a whole episode out of. But
So yeah.
for just summing it up, I'd probably pick the huge house, terrible location.
Yeah, honestly,
Just
I'd
for the
probably
sake
agree.
of calling it mine.
I mean, I like the idea of having a smaller place, but like, I don't like the idea of paying rent.
Yeah.
I like the idea of paying a mortgage or renting to own or something more. So like that's just.
I just want my
you
name
can
on stuff.
own an apartment.
I guess
That is
yeah,
true.
yeah,
Like what? Those are called like what? Condos?
something like that.
I mean, I think it's still an apartment. I think a condo depends on the size.
Yeah, might be like
I
a
guess I never
style.
But I know, like,
Really?
people in New York City, like, they own their apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
But then you get into, like, townhome, apartment, condo.
yeah.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
All right. So now let's get them lips
It'd be
wet.
time to get them lips wet.
Time to get those lips wet. Okay, Mallory, I am so bad at remembering the names to these things.
Like
That's
But,
why I brought a piece of paper.
ocean.
Oh, sweet. But yeah,
Notes.
Mallory has presented us with the month of April's special drink, parentheses,
There's 3 of them.
S.
April Showers series. The April Showers,
Showers.
series. So the dark one we have over here is Midnight Rain.
Is purple.
Made with Sprite, blue raspberry, and strawberry flavors. We got this middle one here. That is Forest Storm with blue raspberry and peach, mixed with Sprite. And then the light blue over there is Ocean Mist, a blue raspberry coconut and Sprite.
Ocean Mist.
Of the 3 colors, this one's definitely my favorite.
Yeah. Mallory helped make these, so she has elected to not try these right here, which is
I
okay.
can. I just want you to feel free to try each flavor.
Yeah, okay, cool. I like this one. It looks like a Baja Blast.
It smells like the ocean. I wanted to sniff.
All right. You said this was blue raspberry and what?
And peach.
And peach. This is immaculate. This is, yeah.
That's Dev's concoction.
Concoction?
Really, that one and the dark one, and I went for the coconut.
I'm really curious about the coconut one. Can I try the
I
coconut?
think I found my new favorite liquid ever.
I was going to jump at the coconut. He's like, I call it.
I go nuts for coconut.
I love it.
Whoa.
Almond Joy and Mounds, some of my favorite candies.
See, this is that tastes like what you expect perfume to taste like when you smell it. Like you expect it to be good. Like you're a kid, right?
don't know if that's
And you're
a
like,
good
"Oh,
thing
this
or
is
not."
good." And then you start to like you try it and then it's not, like a candle that you want to eat, but you know you shouldn't, right? This is like
Yes.
this. Yeah. That
I want to try this.
I don't know.
Baja Blast one you said. What's it
That is
smell like?
lovely. Tastes like a peach ring with extra steps. Tastes like a peach ring and those sharks.
It smells very similar
Yeah.
to the other one, so I'm assuming it's probably very blue raspberry forward.
Sorry, I'm going off of
It is.
pretty looking colors. That's why I have not tried this one
I know.
yet.
I love. Well, it really did kind of crazily happen that the colors. We were not expecting that color to come out of that.
This?
But it was a happy surprise.
Yeah, it looks great.
That one's definitely very blue raspberry. It's I don't know. I still like that one just because coconut's amazing. But
Let's try this
I
purple
don't know.
one.
That one kind of gives me like a cotton candy sort of flavor to it as well.
I was worried about that one because of the raspberry strawberry. I felt like that would clash a little bit, in my honest opinion. What are you doing?
Smelling it. I've done that to every single one.
That is true. That we should smell these. I forgot.
So this one smells almost exactly the same as all the other ones so far, but much heavier on the cotton candy specifically flavor aspect of it.
Okay. Do you think you get cotton candy because like blue cotton candy blue raspberry?
I don't know.
Probably.
I haven't had cotton candy in a long time. I
It
don't
tastes-
like how it makes me feel.
It tastes like sugar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on the train with the cotton candy theory.
It is very sugary. I mean, you got Sprite and you got 2 different flavored syrups in
Yeah.
there.
I get absolutely no strawberry.
Really?
I don't get any strawberry.
Maybe I was like, I think I found it. I think I was searching hard for it though.
But this is good. You know, maybe we put more strawberry and less blue raspberry in the final cut.
All right. So this is
That one's perfect. That one's perfect.
This is the first
change that
episode
one.
where we have 3 different ones at the same time, but
We've
it's the
done 2
theme
before,
of-
though.
These are the official April drinks for the Fleur Cinema and Cafe. Get them today because this releases in April. So yeah, do it today. So for the very first time ever, let's rank these.
Rank them?
Yeah. So remind us again
Lightest
the
to
names of
darkest.
these. Ocean Mist.
Yep. Forest Storm.
Forest Storm. Okay, that's like the teal one, we're going to say.
Yep. And then we got Midnight Rain.
Midnight Rain, the purple one. Okay. Cool. This is my order. First. No. First, second, third. Yep. That's how I would do it. This.
Really?
Yep. I love this, but this is true love right here. All right. And then that's
See-
last just because it might need adjusted. But
That greenish one, it definitely has a little bit less sweetness to it than I think the coconut one does. But coconut one, that's got it all the way for me. It's perfect.
it's good. I think these are a close race. I'm not too crazy about that one. Sorry, Mallory.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
It's good. It's still good.
Yeah.
I think it is the sugariest of them when you come down to like
This-
the taste.
I love this. This is freaking great. I'm gonna keep this one. You can keep the coconut one.
I'll take it.
We'll do sippies on them for the rest of the.
Okay.
All right, I'll take this one.
Sweet.
Okay.
I was wondering if you worried about sipping after us, but yeah, cool.
I'm
I
clean.
found myself to be very thirsty watching you guys drink. I felt like SpongeBob just like drying up.
I don't need it. I don't need it. That's great. Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, quick question, Mallory. Why do you work here? Don't give us the boring answer. Give us like the passionate answer.
The passionate answer?
Yeah, don't be like, well, they asked me to, or something like that. I don't know.
Oh man, no. I took too big of a pay cut to just be like they asked me to.
Okay.
I guess technically I was unemployed for the first time in my adult life. I had spent about almost 9 years at Lowe's.
Okay.
Worked my way up. I was
Lowe's, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I was in management.
Would not have guessed.
And did that for a really long time, and through COVID, and it took years off of my life working there through COVID, and I wanted to get out of retail. So I did. I found a small business company that I was working for almost a year, and was getting paid pretty well. I was a director of operations. And some not cool stuff went down.
Nice.
And so I'll just leave it at that.
Okay,
Some
that's
not
perfectly fine.
appropriate things that made me very uncomfortable. And so I dipped out. I was like, I just left Lowe's. You know, like officially, I was still like doing part-time work. And I was like, well, I guess I'll cash out my 401k and I'll take some time to myself. And I did that, and I was just taking my time looking for something else. Didn't want to go back into retail, but I wanted to do something different and fun. And then that's when I had heard that Fridley had taken over operations for the Fleur. The Fleur was finally going to reopen, and I was like, finally. I was with everyone else, like, hey, we were waiting to hear it when the Fleur was coming back. And I saw that, and I was like, I'll put my hat in the ring. I've always wanted to work in a movie theater. Like, my dad worked in a movie theater. My dad, like, had us grow up on movies, so that was always a huge part. And I was like, oh, I have no movie theater experience at all, but I have manager experience, and this sounds awesome. So that was it. I applied. I had an interview, and then I got the call.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they wanted me to be the general manager, and I took it, and I was so excited, and I still am. and I still
great.
have just a blast every day.
Yeah.
It seems like it'd be pretty fun to work here every day, honestly.
The GMM, General Manager.
Yeah,
Mallory.
it's a lot of work, but a lot of perks, and
Yeah.
so it evens itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's got to be a joke somewhere about moving on up in Lowe's. You know? Wordplay
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Chimney
My
Words
grandpa's favorite, my grandpa's on my dad's side, his favorite, like, construction store is Lowe's. It's
Really?
usually his go-to, yeah.
Hmm.
He was never a Home Depot guy, never Menards. It's always Lowe's.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know how you feel about Lowe's anymore. I don't really think of Lowe's all too often. I feel like it's hiding over in West Des Moines. I mean, not even all the way in West Des Moines, like in the Clive area, I think. Yeah.
There's
right?
two. So there's one in Jordan Creek, and that's the one I was working
Okay,
at.
yeah.
And then there's one in West Des Moines, yeah. Like right on that cusp of West Des Moines and
Yeah.
Clive.
Yeah. Like you're in Clive, just go up the street, you're in West Des Moines. Yeah.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Okay, cool. We actually hit the same topic with Esteban. I guess that's what happens when you ask all people that work at the theater. You run into similarities, right? Yeah, the idea of working at a movie theater is just alluring in and of itself, you
Yeah.
know? The only thing that stopped me from working at like AMC was $10 an hour, you know?
Yeah,
And I'm like, no
exactly.
thanks. I am an adult,
Yeah.
not a high schooler that's trying to get a credit or anything like that, right?
100%.
But yeah, I still would want to do it if the time was right, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think in some ways it's pretty awesome to
Yeah.
be working here.
I got lucky with the general manager position. I mean, it's not my ideal wage by any means, but for what I get out of it, I was willing to take that pay cut from what I was making at my other two jobs before that. So, but I mean, I have applied or at least looked into movie theaters before, you know, knowing of this, but same thing. I was like, oh, an assistant manager position for $13 an hour?
Yeah,
like,
right?
I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't know
Nope.
how anyone can. And so, you know, I got lucky.
Nice.
It was serendipitous for sure.
Yeah.
So, are you, like, local around here? Are you from, I guess, the Fleur area, Fleur Drive area? Because
Yeah, if you had an eye
Like-
on the place before it reopened, yeah.
I had no idea of its existence, so...
So I'm actually originally from Montana.
Okay.
And moved here when I was in middle school. Did a year at Waukee. That was the worst year of my life. And then I went to Norwalk, and I did all 4 years high school in Norwalk. My dad lived in West Des Moines, so I was in West Des Moines for a lot of it, and then shared a house with my then boyfriend and my brother and my boyfriend's best friend
Wow.
in Urbandale,
Okay.
and then my now fiance and I own a house in Des Moines.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah, my mom went to Waukee growing up. Just like you, not the only school she went to. Hates Waukee.
Absolutely.
Sorry to anybody who goes to Waukee, got educated in Waukee. The social status there is a little bit rocky, apparently.
So, I'm not going to talk about where I work anymore. That's just something
Yeah,
we agreed
we're not
on.
going to. No.
But-
Sign works at a paper mill. I am a professional movie critic, and you are.
I know. I'm just Jordan.
Jordan is homeless and unemployed.
Yes.
That is his job
Yes.
now. We all have fake jobs because we ran into some legalities with our real jobs. So we've now developed fake jobs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, the two places I have worked at in the area both have a huge rivalry with Waukee because they just suck. And then so did the school
I didn't
that I
say
went
that.
to. The school that I went to was the DCG over in Dallas Center in Grimes area. And they also have a huge rivalry with Waukee because Waukee sucks.
We were
Even
just
though we have a
talking about
partnership
this.
with them.
Yeah, it was not a good time in life for me.
Sorry.
Sorry to hear that.
It is what it is. I learned a lot,
You develop and
So-
you grow.
I went
did.
through the Urbandale system from 1st to 12th, so I don't know. My mom, she jumped around. She did not want her kids to jump around, and so that's where I was. So
Yeah, I guess I got lucky that I got to stay at one place from high school.
at least in high school, yeah.
My brother not so lucky. He went to 3 different high schools. So
Ooh.
yeah,
Older brother?
yeah,
Yeah.
yep. I'm
Sorry.
the baby.
You're the baby of how many?
3
3?
of us total.
Nice.
Including myself.
Nice. I am the oldest of 8.
Oh my god.
With
Yeah. Yeah.
different fathers and different mothers for
we
some
don't-
of them.
Yeah, we don't have enough time to talk about all that, but let's talk about the movie. Let's
Yeah.
get into it.
Oh,
That gives us
yes.
plenty of time to dive right into the movie. You know what you clicked on. It's in the title. It's in the thumbnail. We watched, Jordan,
The Boy and the Heron.
The Boy and the Heron. This was my very first Studio Ghibli movie.
Believe it or not,
What?
it was mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been meaning to watch them for so long, I just haven't.
I'm
Only answer
actually
I have.
surprised to hear that out of you. Because growing up, I came from a place where anime was weird and dorky and nerdy. And,
Sure.
you know, I had friends that watched anime, but they were definitely the dorky and nerdy people. But, like, I didn't really open my eyes into a lot of, I don't know, stuff that I called nerd stuff until I was, like, 20 or 21, and I started hanging out with his crew more. And now I watch, anime on occasion. And
occasion, yeah.
and D&D, I play that too. That's really fun. And so, yeah, I saw any image of anything Studio Ghibli ever did, and I'm like, yeah, maybe not. And I don't think I was ready for what I saw, everything of what I saw today. So, yeah.
You definitely came into a complex one for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many Miyazaki movies that are very much kid friendly, more towards kids. They have a very more simplistic storyline, and then you have ones that are more in depth and get into heavier topics, which I would say this one is for sure.
Yeah.
And especially it being one of his last movies that I think he's going to make. Hayao
That's what the
Miyazaki.
rumor is.
And yeah, you know, you can kind of see part of it being about grief and part of it, leaving a legacy behind kind of thing.
A lot of it for me was acceptance.
Yes.
I got a lot of, like, learning to accept who you are, learning to accept trauma and just things.
Yeah, I was actually jealous of how creative this movie was. Like, for real. Like, I saw it, and there was just so many unique elements that I've never seen before. And, yeah, it kept on surprising me.
It definitely, yeah. It
'Cause,
took a
like,
lot of turns for me.
See, what I like to do is I like to take some guesses early in the movie. Like, I immediately see the heron. Actually, before I say that, have you seen the movie Samaritan?
I haven't. I don't believe so.
Sylvester Stallone. Have you seen Samaritan?
I have not, but I know of it very
It came
well.
out on stream a couple years ago on Amazon Prime, and I immediately guessed the twist of that movie 12 seconds in.
It is kind of obvious.
It was based on 2 twin superheroes, and as soon as they said that they were twins, I'm like, okay, Sylvester Stallone is going to be the other twin that nobody's guessing he is, and that's exactly what it was. And
I'm the
so
bad
you
guy.
got to dock points for predictability. This was the most unpredictable movie I've seen in a minute, because I see the heron and I'm like, that's going to be some sort of spiritual symbolism for his mom, and then I could not be any more wrong. And so,
And then he
yeah.
met his actual mom.
And then he did. Like in a younger, I gotta rewatch that to grasp everything, or maybe even read on it or something like that.
That's kind of what I did. I was like, I left that movie and was like, I need to do some research.
Yeah.
I need to read some stuff. I definitely need to rewatch it and see it through
Yeah.
the eyes of knowing, kind of what's going to happen. But I don't know. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. And so, Jordan, is it a good time to go through our proper
Yeah.
format
I
on
think so,
reviewing
yeah, yeah,
movies? I do know the first one. Jordan, you're sitting across the way from the general manager right here.
What's up?
Describe your
What up?
theater experience. I dare you.
The theater experience was good. We got a really good
Are you
seat,
sure?
and yeah.
She'll kill you, bro.
Bro.
Excuse me.
You better
No,
not say a damn thing.
We were
that's
able to
bad.
get a really good seat, and it was surprisingly empty actually in there. I don't know how long you guys had been showing it or whatever, but not a lot of people in there today.
I mean, I think it was a good amount of people actually.
It's like the
especially for
perfect
a
amount,
Monday
yeah.
night.
Yep.
I looked around. I was like, this is a pretty popular movie, Let's see. Sorry, I have so many notes. it's a struggle sometimes.
So you gotta find that one and just share it with me.
That's true. Let's properly introduce the stats of this movie. Jordan, say something funny while I'm doing some research.
Blue tastes good.
Okay.
Not
Any random thoughts out of Mallory?
No.
No?
Well, besides just recommending that you watch many, many other Hayao Miyazaki's
Okay.
of his films because
I have
they are
every
so good.
intention of it. Always had every intention of it, just hadn't. My grandparents had a lot of them on VHS. Actually, I just never watched them.
I love him. Love him.
So, when it's an animated movie, I just assume it's under 2 hours. It was not.
No,
This is a 2 hour and 4 minute fantasy adventure movie. Also, Oscar winner for Best Animated Film?
yep.
Best Animated Film of
That beat
2023.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, beat Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I think it deserves it.
Yeah.
After seeing this.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So much.
It goes way deeper than Spider-Man.
Yes.
So that is for sure. But yes, it was directed by Miyazaki, right? That's how you say it?
Miyazaki, Yep.
Okay. And you know what I don't like? I always have to do a separate search for who wrote it, and that is super insulting as a person who wants to be a writer.
Don't you look on IMDb?
I thought Hayao Miyazaki wrote this one too.
Oh, it looks
but-
like he also wrote it. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like there was a team of writers. Okay, so Toshio Suzuki was the producer. There's this woman named Sawako Ogawa who shows up, has no information on her. But I was actually beyond surprised sitting at the end that there was a lot of people that I knew as voice actors in this.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Looks
a-
like
that's the
Robert
thing they did do.
Pattinson, Christian Bale, Florence Pugh, Mark Hamill. Oh, you got Kamiko from The Boys. You watch The Boys?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. We actually have a villain bracket that just came out on our podcast this past weekend.
Oh nice.
Homelander's in the bracket. If you wanna give it a listen.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
But yeah, Dave Bautista. You know, I had a feeling that when I heard that King talk, I was like, who's that?
I was like,
that guy gonna cut a
there's
promo?
Batista. There's Batista.
He's definitely known for most of Hayao Miyazaki's films when they dub them. It's typically a lot of famous
Oh, yeah.
American
Really?
actors. Yeah, and Christian Bale has been in multiple already.
This wasn't Robert Pattinson's first one either, was it? I don't remember.
I think it is that I'm aware of. But I was pleasantly surprised
yeah.
how well, like, I would not have known that was Robert Pattinson.
I don't even
absolutely
know
not.
which one was Robert Pattinson.
He's the Heron.
He's the Heron.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what threw everyone for a loop. It was like, whoa.
I was like, he has a career path that's not just acting,
Batman.
but voice acting.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's cool.
and I think it's also cool to be like, yeah, he's in the Batman universe. Mark Hamill is one of our other very known,
Yes.
very famous voice actors. Also, via the Batman
Mm-hmm.
saga. So I think it's a little
they
interesting, and I
had-
kind of wonder if Robert Pattinson's going to take up some more voice acting roles, because I was impressed.
Yeah, yeah. Had Batman and the Joker in this movie. That's crazy.
And the Green Goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, good call.
For my theater experience, my popcorn was over-seasoned, Mallory.
Over-seasoned.
That's my fault.
Oh, yeah, I did hear you shaking a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah, so I put some of the butter salt on it, not thinking about how salty that actually is, and it's very salty.
We also
My
cook
mouth-
it in that salty,
Really,
buttery
I guess I
salt.
probably should have tried it before I put it on there, to be honest. But I didn't, because like I'm just so used to under-salted popcorn.
My mouth is raw right
Can
now.
I will say this. I'm going to toot my own horn, our own horn here. We have been told that we have the best popcorn in town.
Yeah, that is also written on their website.
Really,
Yes.
that's awesome.
I don't really know the secret, because we do it the same way all of our other Fridley theaters do it.
Really?
And we get people that are like, you guys are the best. It is the best. And I think partially it is the seasoning, the salt, the buttery salt that we cook it in. So I would say if you are underwhelmed by salt in other places, you don't have to be underwhelmed here.
All right.
But it's not overpowering either. So
I will say that I did just realize this because I guess I had not done it in any visits here before. But like they have like this popcorn customization stand that I legit thought was just decoration for the longest time. But like, you know how you go to like a baseball game and you buy a hot dog and off to the side is all the condiments that you want to dress it up? Yeah, in popcorn version, that's what they have here. That's a plus, okay? You got to purchase that at like Cinemark, okay? That is crazy.
Yeah,
So,
it's crazy.
I think it's a little, there's not that many options over there that
There's a lot of duplicates.
there's a couple duplicates. Some of it's, sugar for coffee and
oh, okay.
cinnamon for coffee.
So it's a hybrid customization stand right
the
there.
only thing I think it needs is the cheddar seasoning, and that would be
Yeah,
perfect.
we get that asked, so it's definitely something I'm considering.
Okay. We did talk about a lot of parts that we liked. Do we have any more extra parts that we have not glazed over for what we liked?
See, particularly, the animation in this one was unique, because you definitely saw like various different types of animation styles. Like,
Yeah.
there was some CG stuff, there was some like drawn art pieces stuff, and there was the typical animation stuff, and all of it kind of just blew me away. I was very surprised to see that they were blending all three of these techniques together.
Yeah, that another thing that I was just not ready for was just it threw me for a loop. You look down the hall, you hear moaning and waving of bodies, and you think inappropriate things. And then you get closer, it's like a bunch of weirdly animated old women making the most unnecessary noises over luggage. And I don't know, it was very confusing for me. I guess I personally have a dirty mind. But yeah, those grandmas took me off guard at first.
I loved how different each of their faces were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
With just the unique shape of their heads and everything. I mean, he always has the famous like mole or
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I
in
know
a lot
exactly
of his.
what you're talking about.
I do not.
I don't even know if you would call it a mole. I don't even.
There
know.
was an old lady that had a lump next to her
She
nose.
did. Isn't that like a
That's-
boil?
I don't know what it's
Yeah,
called,
maybe that's
or a
yeah.
wart?
but that's a Ghibli trope.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got that on a lot of people in his movies, but
Old people.
All right.
I appreciated they all were very different, and I liked that.
Nice.
It gave them all unique like personalities and individualized them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Is this what it feels like sitting in the middle? I feel like I'm watching a ping pong match.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm always
Yeah.
off to the side, usually.
Yeah, usually he is.
Yeah. But, yeah, this is cool. Things that we did not like in this movie. When was the last time you saw this?
I saw it yesterday.
Oh, prepared.
No. Saturday. I saw it
Still
on
prepared.
Saturday. I disliked how long the beginning felt.
Yeah?
I thought it was dragging a little bit at
Really?
the beginning. It's a very long movie, and I was
I mean-
kind of feeling like, okay, when are we gonna get to some meat and in here?
I totally understand that.
It could have been worse.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I hated it.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
That's-
if I had to dislike anything about the movie, that's
I'd have to disagree on that. Like, I actually
Yeah?
thought the first half was, like, short.
Really?
Yeah, like, I
Well,
was like,
we're not
oh, it's
talking about
over
the first
already?
half.
What? Well, the first chunk where it's, like, the normal world, right?
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Like, I really felt like that was a lot shorter than I expected, and I just, no, yeah, I was very surprised, actually.
Birds with teeth are weird.
Yeah.
Scary.
That was another
nightmare fuel.
That was something I was actually going to say. The animation on the Heron was wild sometimes.
It was awesome. That I don't say that as like maybe it's I don't think it's a bad part, but I think I can agree with you a little bit where like from most of the first act, I do think that just the fascination with what the Heron was doing was definitely carrying the weight of the introduction of the movie. Something I forgot to point out that I do like is I had never seen, actually not often seen, something that went before the movie, like him drawing it, and then you had the guy who did the score talk about the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I could recall anything like that happening when I enter a theater for a movie. But it definitely got me thinking about the score more often.
Yeah.
And what I really liked is that this movie only has dialogue when it's important. For the most part, there is a lot of scenes where nobody's talking, and it's just all score. And I can't think of a. There's definitely been movies that have done things like this, but I can't recall anything I've recently seen that's done something like that stylistically, and I really like that.
yeah. I agree.
It was also like there was just like no sound at all sometimes.
Yeah.
And that I don't it took me out of it a couple times, but like it was also like very fitting with each time they did it, so I get it.
I mean, I again, I've never seen any Studio Ghibli movie, but like the more I learn about them, the more honorable and how much merit they hold as a studio. You know, when you take out dialogue and you take out score, you're really just having a lot of confidence in your raw animation, you know, and what you're looking at. And maybe even some, you know, sound effects like the wind or something like that. But yeah, something I did not like. I will be honest. I just talked about it with him. I'm not going to say it off the podcast if I can't say it on the podcast. I think it's a consistent thing the more I watch movies. I hate most writing in the first act. I don't like dialogue that is really just set up an establishment. Like we're watching that first scene where there's the boy and the stepmom and the dad's dropping him off to the stepmom. He's like, oh, hey, just came right on time. And I don't know, maybe it was something with the voice acting. I mean, I guess I'm freaking wrong with all these big stars voice acting, but there was definitely some voice acting that really kind of took me out of it. It's like, oh, that person sounds like they're reading, or they're not putting enough emotion into it, or maybe just the reaction plus timing was wrong for me at least. But yeah, I think there's just more intellectual ways to establish, and I'm not even talking about this specific movie anymore, more intellectual ways to establish position in who this character is. Like, you ever see those bad movies? Hey sis, hey bro, hey mom, how you doing? Stuff like that. I hate this one class that I'm taking for college, blah blah blah, stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, maybe it is just me, but it took me a second to warm up.
I know exactly what you're talking about in this movie in particular. That's kind of just a sort of an anime sort of thing, because you got to think it's done in Japanese first, and then you have to dub over, and having that sort of have to match that pace can be a little bit jarring, I think.
I'm actually surprised I haven't even brought it up. I did remind myself a couple times that this was originally in not English, and I usually watch anime dubbed, but there's been occasions where I've checked out the sub and it's very different, right? Mm-hmm. And yeah, I am willing to make the assumption that it just sounds more natural in the original Japanese version in a lot of moments, because like it shows how important word choice is.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when it goes and transfers to the English version, word for word, the English version is not going to match up with the Japanese version, and so you have to readjust the sentence and make it intelligible. And yeah,
I think a bit of it is kind of overarching. These are kids' movies, for the most part, and so I think some of that dialogue that's heavy in the beginning, that's just kind of like make you understand what's going on, is more to be just clear and concise for kids.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna put in all this detail, but it's kind of simplistic. But it gets the point across. Like, this is what's happening. I think that's another part of it. But yeah, I mean, it's a style thing with anime. And especially if you go back and watch other Hayao Miyazaki stuff, it's kind of similar in some of the dialogue, how the actors say it. That I guess I'm just used to it, so maybe it doesn't take me out of it so much like it did you, because I'm just used to it, I guess. I don't know. I can't say if that means that it's bad or good or whatnot, but
I just blame it on sometimes I'm just so slow to suspend the disbelief, Mm-hmm. But like with that said, it is definitely one of those slow cooker movies that gets awesome, especially by halftime, mm-hmm. and gets really deep. I definitely owe it another rewatch, but yeah. So, awards? Best voice acting.
I mean, so there's an obvious choice here.
Is it Little Robbie? Is it Robbie?
Yeah.
it's Batman.
Yeah. Just because, like, he's unrecognizable.
Honestly, yeah.
But, like, I'd say a lot of people in this movie delivered the roles perfectly.
Yeah, I gotta go with Robert Pattinson on that one. I love my girl Florence, but and hers, she was like, it took me a bit to be like, is that, because I was hearing for her, and it took me a little bit to be like, is that her, and I could get it, and so I was happy that she was in it. But if I have to just say how the most impressive and most entertaining voice was definitely Robert Pattinson as the Heron.
Best scene. You got a favorite scene up in there, Jordan?
The scene where he went into the delivery room, that was wild. I think that's honestly the only way I can describe it.
Yeah. Okay. You?
I'm trying to think. That's definitely up there, that piece.
Something. You know, I feel like I'm just so stupid with movies sometimes.
What do you mean?
Like, I catch on to things way later.
You gotta process.
That younger girl that he was running around with, I
Oh,
did
yeah?
not know was his mother until, like, way later.
Really?
Like, I established early that she was the sister of his now stepmother, I guess. But I did not put it together that was
They
also
foreshadowed it. Actually.
foreshadowed?
Yeah, so there was a scene.
Maybe I do need the kids' dialogue. You know?
There was the scene where his father had just sent all of his workers back to the factory, right? Because he was upset that, the people were lost.
Mhm.
And there was, like, the old ladies, they were talking about, do you remember when, what's her name got lost, which was, his mother, his actual birth mother. And they showed a scene of a, black silhouetted girl wearing wearing the same outfit.
I did see that part. I think I came back from the restroom right when they were describing how she looked the same.
I forgot you did that.
She looked the same. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't review movies if I'm going to go to the bathroom. But anyways, yeah, I came back to that scene of the old ladies talking about someone, and they're like, yeah, she looked the same as the day she went missing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did see that black shape, and when the younger version of her showed up with a ball of fire, I'm like, hey, it's the same black silhouette shape. But I didn't.
I
wasn't there for that.
also I did not put two and two together. I mean,
I knew it instantly. I don't know.
Really?
You
Maybe
say
it's
it
just me.
now, and it's like so obvious. Like,
Yeah.
yes, but I wasn't thinking that at the time.
I feel like a big part of it is that they just did not want to say that the stepmother was the sister of his actual mother. They did not say that, like, at all.
Yeah.
So I think that purposefully kind of misled people.
I think my favorite scene was when he was hugging his mom before they went through the doors.
Yeah.
That was almost emotional for me. Like, you have to make a hard decision in crunch time, and you gotta say goodbye to your mom, and your mom saying that she's gonna choose the destiny that she knows how it's gonna end up, and it's because she knows that she has a good boy, and that is touching.
It is. I honestly, I would go between either of those.
Yeah.
Two scenes as the best.
Now, I think the hardest award to think of is best line, because you got to think of an isolated line. I will go first. My favorite line is when they were like waving in front of us the tricks of cinema and then slapping us in the face with it. When the Heron said, "Oh, your mom's alive because did you ever see her dead body?" And that's the rule in movies.
Yeah.
If you don't see their dead body, they're not dead.
Yes,
Don't
the
believe
funny
that
part
they're
was
dead.
is that,
And
like-
then, she was actually dead.
Well, that's the funny part. Technically, he wasn't lying.
He wasn't technically lying, yes.
My favorite line is actually when he calls his stepmother mother for the first time.
Yeah, I
think
noticed
that
that,
was really
too. That was a
emotional,
really big
really passionate.
turn in the movie, I think. Like when you withhold an emotion.
It's like at that point he wasn't trying to get her back home for his dad. He was trying to get her back home for him.
Yeah.
And I think that shows something.
Yeah. See, I follow a little bit of writers online, and they talk about techniques in film and stuff like that, and how you want to imply an emotion without saying it, right? And he said a lot by finally calling her mother,
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a really good choice. What do you think?
I'm going to have to go with when the mom says that she has to go back through her door. That whole dialogue there is
Yeah,
probably
my door's
favorite.
in a different place than yours.
Yeah.
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 Like, I have to go back to a different time, but I will see you. But it's so I will get to see you again.
All
Yeah.
right. Do we have a favorite shot in the movie, folks?
Honestly, I'd have to say the shot where he's looking, when he first gets into this other world and he's looking out onto the water and he sees all those ships, the sailing ships. I think that's very beautiful.
What do you think?
Oh, boy.
We ask
I
a lot of
don't-
very
We
specific-
just saw the movie,
yeah.
so, you know.
I'm trying to think. Probably one of the scenes where his face is coming out of the heron.
Oh, yeah.
It's not quite out, but the nose is bulging out and the teeth. Again, very Hayao Miyazaki, very that's his kind of design. But I love that and how kind of creepy. Probably that first moment when the nose and the teeth are coming out of the beak.
When you first see the nose, you're like, what on earth is that thing? It's weird.
It's not very often that I choose the very first shot as the best shot. But I think it helped with the sounds and the background information on the setting. The very first shot is, you get the sirens wailing, and it's the picture of the sirens, and then it's a pan down of this chaos that's happening, and I really liked that. Not to say it went downhill from there, but that is a really good way to establish.
You know what? That's a really respectful answer.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you. I'm a professional movie critic. Okay, so last thing to do is rate the movie out of 100. We are not on an academic scale. We are on, 50 is even.
Okay.
So,
Average.
Go
50 is average.
yes. I'm going to give this a solid 85.
Are you going to go through the process of actually calculating it? Or?
Do you want me to? I usually do
while
that
we
when you
talk
guys
about
are
our
talking.
scores, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give it an 80, 87, but I might go up to a 93. Just, I don't know. Maybe on a rewatch, definitely maybe could get up to 93 because it was very good. What do you think?
This out of 100's really thrown me off here.
Yeah, really?
I can
Sorry.
tell you, I rated it a 3.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. So whatever that equates out of
Well,
100, maybe.
3.5
But I feel like
times 2. That's a 7 out of 10, so that'd be 70 out of 100.
All right, I'm just doing
Okay,
some
I-
calculator stuff.
maybe I should. I would probably feel closer to 80, 85 out of 100. And then again, I feel like it is one of those. I'm going to watch it again. I'm going to see more nuances, and I'm going to appreciate more details, and I'm probably going to like it more.
Now, question. The beginning scenes where it's him drawing the picture and then the musician talking about the music, were those unique to this second? Or I don't know if this was your guys' second or first showing of this movie or what, but
They had sent us the additional content
Okay.
to put in before the movie.
okay.
So we have been showing it on all of the showings.
So when they initially showed it, what was that, a couple months ago? I didn't know if that was part of it then or not, but
Yeah, I'm not sure because I didn't. This was my first time seeing it, and we
Okay.
didn't have it
okay.
here at this location
Okay.
when it was originally out. So
Okay.
I don't have an answer. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Thank you.
Wait, what was the question? I was doing some calculations.
The beginning stuff. I didn't know if that was exclusive to this late showing or if that's
Oh,
that
with
was
him
for the
drawing?
initial run.
That was really cool. But
that was.
this has happened on more than one occasion, and I don't know if there's an actual scientific definition to this. But I gave this the movie a raw 85, and then I did the calculations. It's an 86. I know myself pretty well, huh?
I think so.
How about that?
I think you've been really close every single time.
Yeah, like I don't know how I immediately feel on a movie, and then I score it. It's weird. I don't know how.
Do you know how he does his system?
No.
So since it's out of 100, I score 10 different movie categories out of 10.
Okay.
It's divided up into, well, when it comes to animated movies, I swap cinematography with animation.
Right.
So it's categorized into story, cinematography, writing, acting, pacing, message, score, sound, character, and personal.
We probably got to cut it
preference.
soon, don't we?
Yeah, we got
45.
15 minutes till we got to close up shop. And so
Are we ready?
I have a lot of questions for you, but I guess I'll ask that next month. It's really just more business-based questions.
Okay.
And so, yeah, we'll just keep that until
That's all
next
right.
month. But yeah, that has been another movie review out of the Too Many Words podcast. I'm your host, Isaac William Joseph, with host Jordan Van Cleve, with special guest Mallory of the Fleur Cinema. It has been an awesome one. Now, Mallory, the last thing we do for every episode is we dedicate the podcast to anything and everything that we choose. And so, Jordan, what do you dedicate this podcast episode out to?
Michael Bublé.
Okay. I dedicate this podcast out to Blue Raspberry Combinations because I love Blue Raspberry.
This really,
I have a history of Blue Raspberry on this
really
podcast.
Kind of relates back to one
awesome.
of our first podcast debates.
Yeah, which was the best universal flavor, grape or blue raspberry. But yeah.
Oh, it was actually just blue, but yeah, blue raspberry.
We basically have a flight of blue raspberry flavors. Don't mind the lemonade he just put in here. But yeah, check out the special drink of the month in April for Fleur Cinema and Cafe. Mallory, what do you dedicate this podcast episode out to?
Florence Pugh.
All right.
Because every
Yeah,
day
yeah,
I will dedicate my life to Florence Pugh.
Yeah, isn't there a
that's good
Florence
answer.
Pugh wall over in the office?
Yeah, we have a wall of Pugh.
Yeah.
Pew pew.
All right. Amen on 3.
Amen on 3.
1, 2, 3.
Amen.
Amen.